Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Non-Classics. This is episode number 3194 and Doubleshot number 3088. We have two Marvel trades from two very interesting writers. The writer who wrote this has got, I think it was him, Warren Ellis, have got the reputation for hating superheroes. I think Warren Ellis. Of course, the writer who wrote this later write a book known as The Boys, a very controversial comic that basically that Amazon decided to scoop up and adapt into an actual show. For some reason, don't know why, but they did. I personally read The Boys at all. I've never been interested in it, especially since one of the characters is a dick, and in order to persuade basically a female superhero to join their group, I read basically he had to rape her. Yes, Garth Ennis wrote this. But this book is not that at all. This is basically a very interesting book, basically, of Garth Ennis' time as a writer. This is Marvel Knights Punisher, the Complete Collection, book number 2. Yes, in a previous video, I did discuss the Taxi Wars trade, which collect the issues that are not collecting this trade, and I can see why. Because they were bad! Like, really bad. There's even some bad issues in here, but Garth Ennis writes, oh my gosh. This book collects issues 6, 7, and 1326 of Punisher, Volume 5, along with material from Marvel Knights Doubleshot, number 1. So yes, Garth Ennis is basically well, here's the thing. So, Steve Dillon writes and draws issue 7. Jim Palmione does the inking for that one. So Steve Dillon does the artwork for issues 13 to 14, 18 to 23, 15 to 17 is Derek Robertson. 24 to 26 is Tom Mandrake. The Marvel Knights Doubleshot is about Joe Quesada. So we also have Tom Broadstreet still doing the amazing covers for this book, which is awesome. I love his artwork. So, this whole first issue is basically Punisher just going about, just passing by various people. Yeah, we have this guy who's named Joe. Who, the whole thing is focused on him and a little bit with Punisher. He has virtually almost no dialogue almost the whole book. Yeah, then basically this guy named Joe, he is just out of his luck, basically trying to. At one point, he points a gun at some people. Then he just decides to stop, throws the gun in the water, and then Punisher proceeds to. Then he gets shot, presumably by Punisher, and then he's caught by Punisher. Like, I caught you, and that was a standalone issue. That was issue 6. 7 is basically, this is all Steve writing. There's no dialogue. It's simply the Punisher just passing by these kids playing basketball. We have these guys getting shut off by the Punisher. And, yeah. And we have a guy basically look like he's about to, who basically gets hostage by, the Punisher got a knife by pointing a knife at his dick. All basically give this one gangster, which eventually he does find them, and by the end of the book he finds him. Yes, and he's killed by being sniped. Yep. And then we have the Marvel Knights Doubleshot issue, which is all Joe Quesada. This is basically look like a gangster who has really bad teeth going to the dentist, and well, it's like. Yeah, and see, like, his teeth are terrible. It's like he's never been dentist in years. Eventually, the Punisher shows up after he kills. It's all from the... You just basically have the camera inside the guy's mouth. You don't see outside of it at all. Eventually, of course, slowly but surely, the teeth start getting removed. Yes. Yeah, all pain. He removes all of his teeth, and then... after all the teeth from Punisher looks at him, like, probably some pain in there. And then he proceeds to put his gun in the guy's mouth and shoot him. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, seeing that, I'm like, why the heck did Joe Quesada thought that was a good idea? I have no idea. I've never met Joe Quesada. So then was after that issue, then it was the Taxi, well, after issue 7, then was Taxi Wars. Then was the 5 issues that were skipped because of pretty bad. Now, 13 mostly looks like it just, oh, you have guys, looks like, you have Punisher, looks like he's injecting himself or something. Actually just poked himself, and then he just takes some guys out. Now, basically, this opening scene here is set in, basically it's a hot situation. Looks like he's possibly like Vietnam, whatever. Yep. Then you have this Dawn being rescued. Yeah, and by the way, Soap in these issues, barely a character. Yes, Martin Soap, who was there for the previous volume for the book, he was there as a part of the first 5 issues, and then it's like Ennis didn't know what the heck to do with him, so basically just here having a beer with Punisher, looking for his girlfriend. And then for some weird reason, we have this big guy come to the bar, and looks like Soap is having a drink with him, and then they walk off. And oh boy, I'll get back to that. So, Punisher killed more guys in the jungle. At one point, basically, Punisher and 2 other guys get trapped in a net, and one guy has to go to the bathroom. And yeah, he does, apparently off panel. And we have more Punisher killing the jungle. And then apparently Soap wakes up like, oh crap, he's waking up a guy in his bed. Yeah, he was drunk. Oh my gosh, he was drunk. It's like, oh crap. Yeah, even he realizes basically his mistake. So he gets up, he gets out of bed, grabs his clothes. Oh crap, there's blood in the refrigerator. And there are decapitated heads in his fridge. And then the guy wakes up with an axe. Doing something. Yes. And then Punisher proceeds to become more people, more killing, because it's Punisher. This so far is okay, nothing really offensive, with the exception of the whole thing of Soap waking up in bed with the guy. Yes. So then we have a whole issue of Punisher being handcuffed to a journalist the whole issue, while Punisher proceeds to kill a bunch of gangsters. So that got the place on fire, and spends the whole issue with him. Eventually, he does get freed, and then apparently the issue ends with like a dead body on top of the car, and then comes a 2-parter featuring Wolverine, a really bad 2-parter that last year did come for this channel. And read this, I guess it's been some time to read this. I can see why these issues were bad. Because Wolverine shows up, it's like, oh, we have Punisher, you have acting like... So, the whole issue is poking fun of heights. Yes. Oh, he's short, so let's basically start a barroom brawl. And then we have a guy get knocked out. And he wakes up, and then, oh crap, half his legs are gone. And then he's looking for his brother Polly, and then Polly is now turned to a dwarf. Yes, for some weird reason, Garth Ennis thought this was a good idea to do for a Punisher book. Dwarf gangsters. Yes. And so, yeah, Punisher just stumble across stuff in here, runs into Wolverine, blows his face off. I'm like, he does know he can heal from that, but good God, I'm not going to show basically the face. Good God Almighty. And he shoots up the claws, which at one point looks like it's bone claws for some weird reason. That's how the artist draws it. And Punisher beats the crap out of Logan, hits him in the balls with a freaking baseball bat. and then attempts to set the man on fire until it's surrounded by little people. A wondering what the heck is going on. Logan's like, it's all about people severing legs, and then you have Punisher Wolverine just beat the crap out of these people. And then reveal the guy behind this, Tony Casino. This dwarf gangster, brother of Tommy Casino, the Last Dawn. The man who murdered along with the rest of East Coast buddies. He thinks, apparently because, this is something kind of weird. So apparently his brother grew normal height, but he's stuck at that height. So, apparently he was bullied by his own brother. So, his response is creating the world's largest short gang. Yep. And I'm like, why? Punisher shoots at Wolverine, of course, shoots at his balls. Don't want to go back. Oh yeah, and by the way, the short gangster, he does get at one point you have basically Punisher just trying to punch Paul to kill himself, but throws a grenade down one area, and then Wolverine gets crushed by a freaking steamroller. Yes. Oh, by the way, he does sever the legs of the guy. And you're like, what the heck was the point of that two-parter? Absolutely freaking nothing. And then, of course, basically, it's like, you have a guy pointing, you have Punisher in Ireland, breaks some guy's fingers, and lots of dialogue here about the IRA, and, well, Punisher just kills a lot of people in here. I mean, this feels like standard, like, this issue here, unlike the previous two-parter, this feels like standard Punisher by Garth Ennis. Yes. Him killing a bunch of fools, but not much story here, just lots of killing. Yeah. All about getting a gun, and eventually 19, where... Now, this is a much better-ish 19. So, 19, Punisher is probably wounded from the last issue. He's still in Ireland, where he just happens to come across a house where Joan is staying. Yes, the girl from the previous film who had a thing for Frank. She shows up as one issue. This is a brief return for the character. There's a reminiscence of the previous issue with the whole thing with Nucci's, the Russian, Mr. Beppo, the only appearance by the guy outside that volume, along with Spectre Dave. And of course, Punisher kills the guy that's after him from the previous issue. And then, of course, Punisher does not see Joan again. This is a one-off return for her. Excuse me, yes. And, yeah, the Punisher goes off. Yeah, he leaves. So Joan left the country to go to Ireland and lives in a farmhouse by herself. Move on to 20, storyline called Brother. We have guys, looks like dealing drugs. And, well, cops basically break two guys' noses for daring to do drugs. But one of the guys takes one of the drugs. And Punisher sees this. Yep. So this whole thing, this whole arc is about crooked cops. Yep. Punisher goes after crooked cops. He beats people up, of course. And he shoots some guys in a drug lab. Yes, a drug lab. And then, of course, basically, like, no, the coke. Yeah. Like, don't worry about it. And apparently, like, yeah, these guys are dirty cops. Yeah, they're only, I think it's a quick two-parter, I think it is. So, yeah. Also, this cop basically beats to his own wife, who leaves him. Yeah. And it goes in issue 23. And, well, he deals with the crooked cops, and it's wrapped up within two issues. Moving on to 23. Now you're probably thinking, where the heck is Soap? He's only featured in one issue this whole thing. He was last seen with a guy craving an axe. And of course then, Punisher kills more guys because, well, that's what he does. And this whole issue is about a guy haunted by dead people. Yep, by dead people. And then this guy is killed by a frickin' octopus. Yes, by an octopus. And that's it for that. Like, an octopus? Seriously? Okay. Punisher didn't do anything to the guy. For 24. Oh boy, we have this overweight mother. This woman who's apparently a mom. This guy's a mama's boy. And we see that apparently, like, this mommy is like surrounded by all these freaking corpses. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I'm not showing some of this art because it's grotesque. Just describing it. So, yeah. We have him eventually, like, oh, surrounded by these weird guys. On the train, saving this woman. And then basically all these corpses basically stumbles across them. And then apparently, like, oh, it's like this mama where she's so overweight. Oh my gosh, she's so overweight. And then she proceeds to choke and then break her own neck. And then it looks like she possibly might die. And then we have, like, a guy basically, like, yeah, more fighting, and then some guys get killed here. And then we find out the guy saying mommy is this guy crawls out of this pile of corpses, this gigantic pile of corpses. And then eventually start talking normally, like he's a reborn man. And like, Big Nappy's gonna make a mess. Oh my gosh, what the heck is up with this dialogue? Big Nappy. Like, what is this? And eventually it looks like that possibly like the guy's mother died. And then we come across the next issue where they do find the body and the thing stunk up this house. Yep, and apparently she's been dead for some time. So Punisher shows more bombs killing more guys, and of course she stops, of course works with a woman here. And then we see this, I'm going to show this off here briefly. Gigantic pile of corpses. Oh my gosh, how did this guy kill? I mean, Punisher's playing in Max versus he's already killed 2,000. I mean, good God Almighty! It's like, what the heck is up with this guy with all these corpses? And think this woman's his mother, and then the guy gets killed. And that's it. You read these issues, you're like, okay, has okay starts and what, but what the heck was up with that last arc? Oh my gosh. The brother was interesting. I like the brother thing because it was a quick cop Punisher got something different. But it's like, what the heck was he up to with this stuff here? Give the book here a 8 out of 10. And believe it or not, there's one more left. And there's 11 issues to go. And reading this, you can maybe see why Marvel decided not to include this volume as part of the numbering Punisher for some weird reason. I don't know why, but they didn't. But that's kind of how it is with that one. I'll be right back. Whew, alright. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to make a quick trip to the bathroom. Okay, so next up is something a lot better. We have X Factor by Peter David. Okay, this is, don't have a volume number for this one. This is Supernatural. This collects X Factor number 224.1 and 225 to 228. Of course, written by Peter David, like I mentioned. Artwork by Leonard Kirk. Yep. Now, Leonard Kirk does the main issues, but Valentin De Lero does the 224.1. And starting off with that very issue here, well, the whole thing is basically like, we have a kid who points a gun at Jamie and Lila, though thanks to her hand, she's able to stop and, of course, basically explain some stuff. And it's almost some ghost story, this one. And that's kind of what happens here, just battling a ghost and this other creature, which is really cool artwork here. Yeah, eventually it's all about... eventually the thing is solved pretty quickly, and then the issue ends with the redheaded woman. I need X Factor. Moving on to the main issues here. We have a protest, basically. You can't demolish the place. Like, yeah, and it's like, this place has been condemned. I have a contract to tear the city down, and a contract with our union to do the job. I don't think all of you, if you just sit offer over half, no deal. We're trying to get what we're due. You forced me to what? Hire scubs to liquid. Good luck with that. And what do you use to take down explosives? Wrecking ball? You can't do it. Union talent. You can. Okay, do it. Kendra wasn't talking to you. And of course, basically, place taken down by, well, basically like Richter apparently can cause like an earthquake for some reason. Yeah. Because Richter got his powers back because of the Children's Crusade. I know this project coming up in 3 days. The boys air out. We'll check our schedule. You'll do that. Yep. And then we see, looks like Rain's going through like 7 boxes of ice cream, and like basically she's wondering where her baby is. It's not here. Then we see like and of course find out who this person is. Apparently it's like the whole thing of this one is basically like from the 224.1. She comes back like, where's Terry? And then she just and of course she gets decapitated by Shatterstar. Puts her head back on. And then for some weird reasons, like except act like proceeds to kiss Lila. It's like, you'll do this bit, and the person just. And of course, Mandrix is like, "You okay, Lila?" I mean, how think she feels? She got kissed by a woman. Then comes 226. This is a very interesting 3-parter for this one because this features basically a return of a character who was last seen back in the 70s in a horror comic, from Marvel Comics. So basically, this is all about these kids being killed for some reason. And they have X-Factor go to a barn with Pip the Troll, who looks around the place in a nice suit, by the way. Yeah, love the suit basically that Card gives him. And so they investigate this guy here called, well, it's basically the Hangman. Some of you probably think, okay, who the heck is this guy, you might ask? Well, he was a character that debuted in I think it was like Tower of Shadows. I think it was. That's why Right up, Johnny. Here we go. Okay. Okay, the Hangman himself made his debut in... When it comes up here. Here we go. He made his debut in Tomb of Shadows, number 5, as Jason Rudd. He became the Hangman in West Coast Avengers number 76. Yeah, where... So prior to this story, he previously appeared in West Avengers number 100 as part of the Night Shift. Yep, as part of the Night Shift. Well, actually, the Lethal Legion. Yep. Yeah. Made his debut in Tomb of Shadows number 5, which came out in 1970. Yep. Makes the old demon to stand square. Not seen again for 21 years. And then they do the infamous Monsters of Hollywood story arc. That's when I came back for that one. So Roy Thomas brought this guy back and had part of the new Lethal Legion, and was a recurring character in that book. And he pops up in this book. Hasn't seen since then. So yeah, basically they're going after them, and so then we have the Hangman come into play, where basically he's fighting X Factor. It's like Peter David just brings about these characters who just has nothing to do with basically because the heart of the wider Marvel universe. So let's bring in a character like unless you read Avengers West Coast, you probably don't know who the heck this person is. So we also see this new character named Bloodbath, this brand spanking new character who only appears in basically these issues here. He pops up once after this, and basically it's like a serial killer. The one Terry Reynolds, that's basically like a kid who debuted in the issue. This kid is the son of Hangman. Yeah, he's Jason Reynolds' son. And he pops up, he first appeared like in the 224.1, appears in these two issues, and never seen again. It's like, okay. So then Terry basically returns, and he's stalked by, and of course Jason has to work with X-Factor to save his son. Oh yeah, and by the way, apparently his mom told him he was a superhero, that's why he's part of Lethal Legion. Yes. Also, Mandrake apparently gets killed, but yeah, Jamie gets killed, but don't worry, he's actually a dupe. Yep, the one who died was a dupe. Yep. So yeah, then we have apparently like, oh, it's kind of weird, and we have the guy he battles X Factor, gets stabbed, and the guy gets away, but don't worry, he's back. And then Terry reunites with his dad. Hey, I'm talking about you were a superhero. I'm a what? Yep. So takes some convincing, and basically, yeah, Bloodbath comes back and tries to, and then of course Hangman comes in and stops him, and they do stop him, and then it's like, yeah, there's an exorcism of being possessed by Bloodbath, and then the issue ends with looks like Jamie going to a hotel and seeing the dead bodies of himself and Lila in this hotel room. Yeah, the ending of this book basically says the very next door, but this book is great. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Really good book. Compared to Punisher, this book is a lot better. Yep, so yeah, that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, don't Gun Schmumpkin, the Master Swordsman. Okay, thanks, Phil. Bye.